Good morning, traders. I am Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Monday, March 24th. We kick off the final full week of trading in Q1 as investors anticipate more tariff talks and another read on inflation in the week ahead. On Friday, markets were able to inch their way into the green by the closing bell, and all three major indices ended higher. The Dow added 32 points or 0.08%. The S&P 500 picked up 4 points or also 0.08%. The Nasdaq advanced 92 points or just more than 0.5%. Bill, let's get into Monday in a new week with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Morning, Emily. Yeah, I'm watching the S&Ps. We're higher by 1.24%. SPOs are running this morning. This is a strong move higher. I mean, the focus is really on the expectations that the Trump tariff announcement on April 2nd is going to be more targeted than what was feared. And there were two articles out over the weekend from two of the major news organizations, kind of indicating that they're going to be, flexible and targeted, which kind of echoes the statement of what Trump said on Friday. But the comments from the White House have been limited. I don't see a whole lot of comments. So I'm not really surprised by that because they have been rather quiet. But from what we see, we're expecting a better than the worst case scenario, which is what the market has been priced in. And as a result, you're seeing some gains in chips, drugs, and auto stocks this morning. But, face it, the tariff news is going to be a key source of volatility until that April 2nd date. I mean, it's going to be, people are going to be watching it closely. After the bell today, we get, the market's going to be digesting the flash PMI data releases. I see that U.S. and Russian officials are meeting in Saudi Arabia to discuss a ceasefire between the hostilities between Russia and Ukraine. And the U.S. and China are stepping up diplomatic efforts, laying the groundwork for a Trump-Xi meeting later this year. So that's all positive. Then we're kind of taking a look at the global markets, and we're starting off in Germany. And we're looking at the DAX. The DAX is up. It's up about 48 points. It's 0.21%. It's given back some of its gains. I mean, it was up like 0.6%. The private sector saw its fastest rise in business activity in 10 months in March, fueled by increases in manufacturing production in almost 2 years. So, that's positive, but that could be tariff related. Then you have the FTSE, which was higher, with gains in banks and mining stocks, but the FTSE has since turned lower, and it's, it's actually flat. It's down 0.00. So it's just call it flat, but the CAC is lower by 6 points or 0.08%. It was higher, but on signs of improvement in both manufacturing and services sectors. But it is since it's unable to hold those gains. And then we're looking last night in Asia. The Nikkei fell 68 points or 0.18%. Japan's flash PMI data for March signaled contraction in both manufacturing and services activity. Then you got Hong Kong. Hong Kong, rose 215 points. So that's 0.91%. Remember, Hong Kong's been getting hit recently, but Trump's indication of flexibility in tariffs really did boost sentiment. And China, it did finish higher, 0.15%. It came back from early morning losses. Their Commerce Ministry said they're going to hold a press conference later this week to update everyone on their work. So we got to keep an eye on that. And then we're turning our attention to oil, and oil is higher. It's about 0.5% higher. The focus really is on the ceasefire negotiations between Russia and Ukraine and those peace talks. That's what people are watching. And then we got the upcoming stockpile results Tuesday and Wednesday, which markets will be focused in on. But for now, we're worried about a supply gut that could hit, which could lower oil prices, but keep an eye on oil. There's going to be volatility in the days and weeks to come. And that's
And Bill, you get to your
my
desk on
morning
a
update for
Monday
you,
and
Emily.
you're watching the S&P futures. As you mentioned, you're seeing there's an uptick and you're wondering why that is. And you're able to check your newsware and you're gathering that information, not only for the day ahead, but really gathering that news that came out over the weekend. You're keeping up with those Trump tariff talks.
So,
and you're keeping up with other types of news today. You're following earnings action, economic events, and other headlines hitting the tape. We're going to start with earnings action on this Monday morning. What is going on there, Bill?
No specific earnings came out this morning, but after the bell today, you got KB Homes, Kilo Boy, Henry. EPS is $1.56. Expected move is 9.29%. Tomorrow morning, you got McCormick, MKC, Michael Kilo, Charlie. EPS 64 cents. Expected move is 6.05%. Very elevated put to call ratio with KBH on Friday. McCormick is much better. But that's all I have for you in terms of upcoming earnings, Emily.
And Bill, even though action on that front is a little bit slow, you mentioned those key reports that are worth watching. And when it comes to key reports, there's also economic events throughout the week. As I mentioned, a fair amount of data there that we're going to be watching throughout the week. We will start here with Monday. Bill, give us a rundown of what we should be watching when it comes to the day's economic events.
At 9:45 this morning, we get the flash PMI manufacturing data. We also get the flash PMI services data. That's going to be the key one. The key one for the week really is the PCE that's coming out on Friday. But today we're focused on the flash PMI data. Then you got some Fed speak. You're going to hear from Atlanta Fed Bank President Raphael Bostic at 1:45 p.m. And then at 3:10 p.m., Fed Governor Michael Barr is scheduled to speak. And that's what I have for you in terms of economic events today, Emily.
And you'll be keeping track of those economic reports and that Fed speak all using your NewsWare. And as you mentioned, that report on Friday, that PCE will be a key one. And we will continue to update our listeners day in and day out on all those reports and when to be watching them. Speaking of watching data and information, you're also following other types of news and information this morning, as you do every morning using your NewsWare, looking at things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meeting, buyback news, and other catalysts. You group your stocks together like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So Bill, what else do you see as possibly moving markets today?
Doing a quick data check. I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got 6 lower, 1 unchanged, and 24 higher. That's positive. And then I'm looking at my FANG stocks. I'm showing green across the board for the FANG stocks. So that's good to see. And then I'm looking at some of the news stories behind the tape. And Apple, they're planning on building their own AI model and adding a camera to the Apple Watch. Okay. Amazon, hey, remember, its big spring sales event starts tomorrow because it's going to run between March 25th and March 31st. That typically has a little bit of boost to the stock price when they do these sales events. Meta, META, OpenAI and Meta are seeking a potential alliance with India's Reliance Industries about potential product and sales partnerships. That's kind of positive. Then we're looking at Dow Jones 30 stock news, UNH, United Healthcare. Stocks flat this morning, but they announced that they're going to be releasing their Q1 results on Thursday, April 17th, before the bell. Disney weekend ticket sales of Snow White came in a little lower than expectations. Market was expecting 50 million ticket sales. They came in at 43. Not great, but you do look at Disney. It is trading higher this morning, so that's good to see. And then we're moving over to shareholders meetings going on. Ticker LGMK, Larry Grace, Michael Kilo, Logic Mark. They're having a special meeting of shareholders today. And International Paper, ticker IP, India Paul. They're holding their Investors Day tomorrow. That could be something. That's something to keep an eye on. And then we're just moving on to Catalyst calls. ALLY, Apple, Larry, Yellow. This is Ally Financial. Citibank places Ally Financial on a 90-day positive Catalyst watch list. So that's good for that stock. And that's what I have for you about news in the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, what do you have for us to kick off the week?
Going with Alcoa, ticker AA, Apple. I mean, copper prices are running hot. Metals are running hot. You see the gains in the mining stocks overseas this morning. So I do like Alcoa, ticker AA, Apple. You look at Friday's call volume, and you saw 6,071 calls versus 2,052 puts. That's positive, and the major brokers do like the stock. They do have strong ratings on it, but I want to get in at 34. That's kind of like my area that I want to get in at. If I get it under, that'd be better. If I get in slightly higher, that's okay. but around 34. And, but that's my pick of the day. Alcoa, ticker AA, Apple, Emily.
Alcoa, it is today, a metal stock market play there, and we will follow that one along with you. And coming up, we will do a recap on Friday's pick of the day before we sign off. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Okay, let's see what we have here this morning. Vitamin Shop, VSI, Victor Sam India strengthens brand partnerships, unveils hometown stores. UK Prime Minister and President Trump had a brief call on Sunday to discuss progress that was made on economic prosperity. Let's see what else. Oracle, they're rolling out AI agents this year, more AI agents this year. Expect strong demand for its technology. UBX, Uncle Boy X-Ray, they're holding an investor event today. They're going to be focused on their retinal disease study, which, it's really anti-aging is really what they're trying. It was really what this company focuses on. DBVT, David Boy, Victor Tom, FDA confirmed safety of their phase 3 study on their peanut patch. Boeing and Airbus, they're looking for faster output of planes as plastic looms for future jets. Tesla halts sales on driver assistance software, a trial in China pending approval. That's all I'm seeing this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we dive into trading on this Monday, let's do a quick check-in on Friday's pick of the day, which was Micron, ticker MU. Now, the stock was experiencing weakness after its earnings over concerns about margins, even though earnings exceeded expectations last week. And many analysts believe that the sell-off is an overreaction. You were hoping to get in at this one at a discount, thinking there might be some room to move from there. Bill, how did your call work out?
Well, it definitely was an overreaction on the stock price because, the stock was trading 110 after the earnings came out Thursday evening. And then, you look at it Friday morning, it opened up at 98.20 and then it fell down to 93.70. That volatility was really an opportunity. I mean, I did get in, I made some money, but it didn't. I think I gave out 98 as an entry point, and it actually closed at 94.72, so I can't call it a win, but I did make a little money in Micron MU, so it wasn't a total disaster. But MU, I can't call a winner on Friday due to the price action, Emily.
A little bit of playing that volatility there, but as you mentioned, that entry price was hard to make a call on, but still want to keep watching. So we will continue to watch Micron, see if it still has some legs to move higher. We will check in with you tomorrow about today's Alcoa pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.